Slot.
Going like super fast.
Okay, we're live. Okay. We are back online for anyone who was watching the previous live stream. I apologize, our account was hacked and we removed that as quickly as possible and had to restart the meeting. We've also temporarily pulled that video off of the account page until we can purge that. So we will continue the meeting. All right, fine. Remember what we were doing.
We're just finishing up the vacancy.
Just finishing up the vacancy. Okay. Anything additional on vacancy discussion? Okay. Moving on. Did anyone see anything in the comp and benefits manual that they wanted to possibly address or have ready for discussion in the next in the organizational meeting?
No.
I know there were a few things that needed to be clarified. I think it was in this. Well, first off, one thing we should think about in the paid leave section. So we do have designated holidays. In the past, we've been, I think, doing it by resolutions. We've been adding certain holidays. So Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, Juneteenth. So they're not formalized in our comp and benefits manual. I don't know if that's something that we want to formalize or if we want to continue doing that by resolution. But I just think we should think through that. There's been a few other things we've talked about looking at in terms of
Resolutions, like,
okay.
because we do it, it's just like it's always done at the organization.
Well, we have there's the set, well, we do, all the holidays are part of that resolution,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we list more.
Trying to think if there was anything else specific.
I don't think she needs to, I think we have 3.
Oh.
All right, I'm just looking bit quickly here. Okay, well, please take a look at that for the organizational meeting, see if there's anything that comes out to you that you would like to have recommended. Then, last, and Zali, I think this kind of speaks to, well, one possible way when we talk about committee members and having a process where adjustments can be made to committees. The employment practices manual may be something where we look at that, because right now, and Mary Lou, is this correct? Are people serving on committees are not covered under the employment practices manual?
That's correct.
Yeah, so I don't, that's not the only way we can do that. We can have a separate standalone policy specific to committees, or we can just, I think, make some adjustments to the language here and essentially have volunteers and committee members covered the employment practices and codes of conduct and things like that. So, Zali, I don't know if you have a preference or any thoughts on that either way, but.
I think that would be applicable to newly appointed members of boards and commissions. And I think that what we discussed with Mary Lou is that existing members of boards and commissions, other than the 3 decision-making bodies, have fixed terms. Some of them have fixed terms, others do not. The ones that have fixed terms have no provision for removal for cause. And we need to probably adopt a local law to amend that. Which is separate from a future training requirement and future new appointees being appointed to, being required to adhere to the standards and practices, but I think that what we need to do is make sure that we have a consistent policy regarding things like sexual harassment, discrimination, et cetera.
Mary Lou, does that need to be a local law or can that just be a policy amendment?
I think.
I think that when we did the research, we did say it should be we should have local law or policy. I can go back to my notes to check.
But there are two separate issues. One is training and the other is removal.
Right.
But a removal could be included in the policy document.
Could be.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Mary Lou, if you want to look into it and see if there's a better way or what the best practice is for that. Well, I think the investment policy was something that you were saying.
I did. I drafted an investment policy at Erin's request that basically says that that gives her the power to invest funds in things other than a bank account at 10 basis points per year. What we were envisioning was something like a highly rated money market fund, but no maybe short-term treasuries of 90 days or less, but nothing speculative at all. But in order for us to do that so that we can get a higher rate of return on cash balances, a policy has to be adopted.
Yep.
And my recommendation is that the policy be as conservative as possible in terms of investment selection. And then that sort of begs the question of minimum size and capital requirements of banks that we use, because the banks that we use don't necessarily meet highest tier of capital requirements.
Okay, so you have a draft of that or you're working a draft?
I sent Erin a draft.
Okay.
I can send it to you too.
Yeah, that'd be great, and then we can put it with the documents for the organizational meeting. Any additional amendments, or are there any other documents that people are looking at that they think we really need to revisit this? If not at the organizational meeting, then kind of put together a schedule of how we want to look at it. No. Kate, is there anything that you think the board needs to? Based off feedback, okay. So encourage people to look at those documents and see if there's anything we want to add, anything we want to modify. I know it's a lot, but I think it's important to keep those up to date every now and again. Next item, so wage schedule for the organizational meeting. I don't know if anybody had specific things that they wanted to look at. This is part of the budget process where we establish these.
There's nothing new in the schedule that's been appointed. I mean, posted versus what was approved in the budget process.
That's my understanding. Okay. So fair enough. And so obviously we're going to be adopting this, maybe not obviously, we adopt this as part of
We
the
have to.
organizational meeting. So just make sure you take a look at that, and then fee schedules. I don't know if anyone had any thoughts when looking at the fee schedules for building department, transfer station, anything related to that I think we should consider changing.
The departments didn't make requests for change, correct?
I'm not aware of them.
I haven't seen any, I just wanted to make sure I didn't see. I wasn't missing something.
The only thing, and I'm trying to remember,
Is there something at the transfer station?
well,
The fluorescent bulbs she was talking about
I saw that and
increasing.
Did they
There was
take-
something else.
maybe.
Yeah.
We should find out about that. I think the other thing was tires, because I'm pretty sure what the passenger light truck tires is what we get charged by UCRA,
Mhm.
which is fine. And we also don't want tires ending up on the side of the road. So I think that was the thinking, was like purchase a pass through basically, but
Right.
I don't know that there's anything else. And we just re-looked at like the bag pricing last year and kind of better defined that because it was a little squishy, but like we actually put the gallon equivalents in there. And that was something Aaron had pushed for, so.
The one comment I have about the transfer station is that we have no idea what the liability that we would have on our balance sheet is for punch tickets sold but not used. And I don't know whether, I mean, from an accounting, looking at it from an accounting standpoint is different from looking at it from a practical standpoint. And from a practical standpoint, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I know I have a lot in my car.
And a lot of people have them in their car and have sold the cars and, don't have them anymore. And is that liability something that's important for us to know about? And I guess we don't really have an idea of what the magnitude of that is. Because from a pure accounting standpoint, that should be shown as a contract revenue or unearned income.
But we have earned that income.
We have the cash, but we haven't fulfilled the service.
Yeah, we have the cash, so
But
we
gotta
are
let-
paying for, there's no garbage for us to pay for it, so we're making a profit at the end of the year if people aren't
Well-
using all their punch cards.
From a cash flow standpoint, but if you run that through the end of time, we will have, if those people bring their bags, we don't have any revenue in that year to offset the expense that the money that we have to pay out for it. Because we're not reserving for the unused punches.
That's true, but a punch card 10 years ago is not the same.
No, I know.
Or, you know,
I know,
with
I
how
know.
much we've
So
changed,
that's
the
why I-
prices aren't gonna go
Has that an
down,
issue? I mean,
not that I know of.
Well, it's interesting data to have. We know how many cards we sell. And we count the punches. I know we keep records of the punches.
Do we? Be interesting, just, I mean, under the old system with actual tickets, we had an idea of what that liability was.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what the revenue is versus how many we sell versus how many are used every day to see if we're
Yeah.
building up that pot, or, because at some point it's possible that someone's gonna dump all these bags and we're not gonna have any revenue to cover it, and we're gonna have to dip into general fund to pay that expense. So it's a timing.
Yeah, I'll talk with Aaron about that and see. I think might not be that big of a.
I mean, if
Just start counting.
if we're roughly selling what we're taking in, then the liability is not growing or shrinking. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not really a very high magnitude. The probability of a problem is not a. First of all, the probability of a problem is pretty low. Because I don't think the town of Rochester's going to go bankrupt anytime soon.
Hope not. Not when I'm acting supervisor.
That's right.
I don't know, though. I just signed a whole bunch of bills, man. They all look good. I didn't see anything else in the planning board, ZBA fees. I know we did a major adjustment to those last year based off some feedback. So again, take a look at that. I think we can talk to the individual employees, see if there's something that we're missing that needs to change. But other than that, I think we are good. Don't know that there's anything to discuss about the consultant agreement for the Sundown Culvert. So we did have some documents that we sent back related to that. But I don't recall anything that we had to discuss about it. So I think we're just waiting to finalize those agreements and communicating with the firm. That is one of my many alarms. I need to do something you don't need to do. All right. Any other matters, other items that we didn't cover? Did I say I was gonna talk about something?
Yep, I just-
Anything else? Okay, well, the last order of business, Mary Lou, anything else from you?
Now, just I'm going to send you guys a memo before the regular January meeting. Back in the spring when we did the road abandonment and we were selling a little triangle of property to a neighboring property owner. We passed a resolution, their title company from Long Island didn't like the way it was, set forth. So they wouldn't insure the title. So I've talked to their title company attorney and the buyer and seller attorney there. And we've come up with another way to do it that will work fine for the town. So I'll get another resolution together and explain what's going on in that. It's easier to write it out than explain it.
That's
So
our
that's
title,
it.
that's
No.
our title, that's our title company?
No, it's for the people who are purchasing it.
Okay,
Yeah, no, it's people who are purchasing it. Not us. All right?
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the last thing we're going to do is the auditing of the bills and the approval of abstract 12B for 2025. We're going to stop the stream for that because we're just sitting around paying bills, and then we'll do the resolutions to authorize the approval of those abstracts.
bills have been signed,
Sorry,
the bills have all been signed.
the bills have all been signed.
They signed them all. When you're working on the video.
Oh,
I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
guys. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Mary Lou.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
Okay.
Night.
So we just need to approve.
Well,
the
we
contract.
can do it second. I want to look at it. Because I'm nervous about it. Oh, last thing, I just wanted to say I have a little note here. And I'll say this is on behalf of the supervisor, and the whole board. First off, I thank Supervisor Allen for all the work that's been done this year. This was eye-opening to sit in this seat and also to be in the office and see all of the different things that are going on. And so just want to thank, the community, staff, which our staff is phenomenal, boards and commission members, all the volunteers in town for their continued dedication throughout the year. I wish everyone a happy holiday season, healthy new year, and we will see everyone next year. So thank you all.
Thank you.